college football to come, it's right around the corner, is to put together an all-time college football team since 1985. I mean, you college football lovers like me out there, we all have our heroes. We all have seen, the legends come through college football and make it to the Hall of Fame. But I want to stress this. This is all about college football. And, gosh, I just love it. I just love this time of season. We are almost here. We've made it through the summer, just a couple more weeks, and then the ball kicks off in the fall. Let's go. All right. Let's talk about, like I said, 1985 goes back then. Why? Because it's my show, and that's kind of when I started following football. But some of these you're going to agree with, some of these you're not. It's okay. Comment below where I messed up, and we're going to see. What we're going to do is going to go through each position, grab a couple players, and then at the end, we're going to actually have a starting offense and a starting defense. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, here we go. We're going to start off with the coaches. Here we go. The coaching staff, the greatest of all time assembled. And you're an idiot if you don't think Nick Saban's not the best football coach ever to walk the turf. Alabama, here you go. Nick Saban is the head coach. One of my favorite coaches, Steve Spurrier, will be your offensive coordinator. I mean, I just love this guy. His whole demeanor, I mean, everything about him. He just wanted to have fun with the offense. And then Bud Foster out of Virginia Tech, the Lunch Pail Kids, are kind of a forgotten guy, to be honest with you. But Bud Foster, his defensive mindset was unbelievable. And he just influenced so many out of Virginia Tech. So that's your coaching staff, all-time greatest coaching staff in college football. All right, we're going to go to the quarterbacks. And look, I want to stress this is about college football, not the NFL, but you got to put Tim Tebow up there. 2 national champions, Heisman winner. I mean, the list goes on and on. His leadership, everything else. Tim Tebow is on this list. Number 2 is Joe Burrow. Authored and was the general of, I believe, the greatest football team ever assembled on a football field was the LSU 2019 Tigers. The offense and defense were just unbelievable and broke so many records. Joe Burrow, quarterback. Cam Newton. Obviously, we know Cam Newton. He was a one-man show out of Auburn. You got to put him up there. Now, honorable mentions, I would say Vince Young, but I didn't put him in there. Just stick with 3. But Tim Tebow, Joe Burrow, and Cam Newton. Running backs. Man, this list is so long, but I kept it to 5. The best I've ever seen. Barry Sanders, Reggie Bush out of USC. I mean, one of the most explosive players. As soon as he touched the ball, he was gone. He was in the end zone. Ricky Williams, Derrick Henry, and then the legend, Bo Jackson. All right, now we're going to go to offensive linemen. We did tackles. We did 4 tackles. Best, again, college football I've ever seen. Orlando Pace out of Ohio State, Joe Thomas out of Wisconsin, Jonathan Ogden out of UCLA, and Jake Long out of Michigan. And then you have your guards, Steve Hutchinson, Quentin Nelson, and Will Shields. And then the centers, Dave Remington. They literally have a trophy named after Dave Remington for the best center. And then Marcus Pouncey from Florida. All right, we're going to go now to wide receivers. Best of all time, college football, Randy Moss. Unbelievable at Marshall. Broke a ton of free catching records. Then you have Larry Fitzgerald out of Pittsburgh. Calvin Johnson at Georgia Tech. Devontae Smith, Heisman winner, out of Alabama, playing for the Eagles. Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. Now, look, you could put Blackman in there. You could put Michael Crabtree. Yes, that Michael Crabtree had an unbelievable college season as a wide receiver, but those are my choices. And then tight ends. Brock Bowers, who's still a beast. Kyle Pitts and Kellen Winslow. Yes, that Kellen Winslow Jr. out of Miami. All right. We go over to the defense. Can you imagine having a team of these guys on your team as a defensive lineman? the edges, Julius freaking Peppers, and then Chase Young, Will Anderson Jr. still creating havoc with the Houston Texans, just signed a huge contract, and then Terrell Suggs from Arizona State. And then Warren Sapp in the middle. Warren the Beast Sapp, and Dominican Sue, Aaron Donald, and Haloti Nada in the interior. God, that would be unbelievable. And then you have your linebackers. Here we go. Ray Lewis, obviously Hall of Famer, Baltimore Ravens. We all know Ray Lewis back in his Miami days. You got to put him in there. Luke Kuechly from Boston College. Derek Thomas, Patrick Willis, which was unbelievable at Ole Miss. Brian Urlacher, who started out as a safety. His junior year switched to linebacker, and the rest was over. Hall of Famer, Chicago Bears, and then Roquan Smith from Georgia. All right, we go to cornerbacks. The Heisman postman himself, Charles Woodson, Deion Sanders from Florida State, Champ Bailey out of Georgia, Patrick Peterson, and Derek Stingley Jr. from LSU. The safeties. Oh, this is one of my favorite positions. The safeties. God rest him. Rest in peace, Mr. Sean Taylor. I mean, he laid the wood at Miami as well as the Washington Redskins. And then Ed Reed, the same thing. Troy Polamalu, Eric Berry, Roy Williams from Oklahoma, and Minkah Fitzpatrick from Alabama. And then you got to have your special teams. I mean, I'm a Florida State guy. You got to go Sebastian Janikowski, the big man, the lefty from Florida State, Tom Hackett, the punter from Utah, and then the elite of the elite was Devin Hester from Miami. Change the game. Change the freaking game. So, yeah, that's it for the list. Now, my question is, listen to your comments. Who are you starting? Who are you starting by using these players? I mean, and what we're going to do is we're going to take the 11, and who would you start? And we're just going to go down and see what we can do. Again, this is the huge debate, right? This is the huge debate, and I really struggled with this. I mean, honestly, trying to put this thing together, I really, really did struggle trying to figure out who I would start on each particular position. And it's just one of those things you just, like, I was talking to buddies of mine and we were going back and forth. But, after putting this together, I'm going to come to this conclusion. And again, please tell me where I'm wrong. All right, here we go. We are going to start with the starting defense. This is my starting defense. This is my 4-3 defense. I've got on the edge Julius Peppers. I've got Warren Sapp as my 3 technique. I got Adonican Sue running the 1. And then I got Will Anderson Jr. as my other edge. Can you imagine Julius Peppers and Will Anderson Jr. as your bookend edges? Oh, my God. And then the 3 in the middle, I've got Ray Lewis, Luke Kuechly, and Derek Thomas as your linebackers. I mean, just sick. And then your cornerbacks. You got to go with Charles Woodson and Deion Sanders. I mean, there's no discussion here. Charles Woodson and Deion Sanders are the best 2 cornerbacks to ever live. And then your safeties, and they're both Miami guys. You're going Sean Taylor, and you're going Ed Reed. I mean, let's go. That would be one hell of a defense. So, I don't know. Here's your starting offense. Now, this is where we can get into debates. This is where we can go. But to me, Tim Tebow is the greatest college quarterback since 1985. It was so close between him and Joe Burrow. But you've got to put Tim Tebow there. 2 national champions, a Heisman. I mean, he had like over 100 touchdowns. This guy was an unbelievable leader. You put him in as quarterback, that's it. He is your best quarterback. Randy Moss is your wide receiver. And then you also have Calvin Johnson as your other wide receiver. Now you have 2 running backs. I'm putting Reggie Bush and I'm putting Barry Sanders. Now, again, it was hard for me as an old guy not to put Bo Jackson back there. But there was something about Reggie Bush and his elusiveness, his ability to score, his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. Bo Jackson was unfreaking believable. But I'm putting Barry Sanders there, and I'm putting Reggie Bush. And then my left tackle is going to be Orlando Pace. My left guard is Steve Hutchinson. My center is Dave Remington. My right guard is going to be Quentin Nelson. And then my right tackle is going to be Jonathan Ogden. What say you? What say you? What is your starting? Now, the question is, too, who's going to win? Like, if you put that offense against that defense, I mean, who's going to win that side of the field? I don't know. But it's something fun, guys. College football is almost here, but that is my starting lineups. We'll see what happens. And by the way, before you guys comment, I know it's AI that did those pictures, and Tim Tebow was a left-hander. I don't know why it didn't do that, but anyway, it is what it is. But I love this offense, and I love this defense. Debate it. Talk to me about it. Debate it in the comments below. That's it for tonight. College football's almost here. Let's go.